Hey, what's up everybody? It's Zach with Fire and Ferment. Today, we're going to be jumping into one of the easiest ferments out there, sauerkraut. This is so simple. It only requires 2 ingredients and it's so delicious. I love it on homemade sausages with stone ground mustard, Reuben sandwiches, and pastrami sandwiches. It's a lacto fermentation that's jam-packed and loaded with healthy probiotics. Once you make it, I'm confident you'll never buy it again. Let's go. Here's our ingredients list. We've got some cabbages and we've got some salt. That's it. You can do as many cabbages as you want to. You could do just 1 cabbage, you could do 2 cabbages, you could do 2,000 cabbages. The only important thing that you need to remember is you want to calculate 2% of the total weight in grams of kosher salt.
We want to take our cabbage and slice it in half and then slice into quarters. We then want to remove the core. Next, remove the outermost layer. Slice the cabbage into very thin slices like so. It looks like a lot of cabbage, but don't worry, it'll compress down. Now, let's weigh our cabbage on a food scale. The weight we get, we need to calculate 2% of that in grams of kosher salt. We're going to end up with 1,094 grams of cabbage. So we simply take this number and multiply this by 0.02 and we round up to 22 grams. This is the weight in grams of the salt that we need to add. So let's measure this out. Next, we sprinkle the salt in and start kneading this all together. Get to work on it and really put some muscle behind it. You want to beat that cabbage up and mix that salt in until it starts to soften and release its liquid. This will take a few minutes. This salty liquid is basically the brine that will submerge the cabbage and create that anaerobic environment so we can get healthy lacto fermentation. Now, we simply throw this all into some jars and push it down. I like to use a muddler to really get that cabbage pushed all the way down and make sure we release as much liquid brine as we can.
I've got these fermentation weights that are basically just heavy glass weights that are made for fermenting in jars like this. They keep everything submerged in an anaerobic environment, which is perfect to achieve healthy lacto fermentation. You could weigh it down with something else. Some people use an outside layer of the cabbage to create surface tension and then weigh it down that way, but I like these glass weights. I've left a link in the description below if you're interested in trying these out. So my fermentation weights don't fit into the jars. I'll be honest, it's the first time I've tried to use them. So we're gonna move this cabbage over to a bigger jar so that we can fit those fermentation weights in there.
We'll get another jar ready and get our cabbage and brine into the new, larger jar.
Yeah, I think this is probably gonna work so much better.
We gotta muddle it down again. So we'll put this weight down and ensure the cabbage remains submerged and screw the lid on. As it ferments, it'll release gas and this could explode the jar if you don't burp it daily. Another option would be to just leave the lid barely on so gas can escape. Keep it at room temp and let it ferment for 2 to 3 weeks until you've reached your desired level of sour. 3 weeks later, this is ready. Serve it up whenever you want. Make sure you store it in the fridge. Today, we're going to be serving this with our homemade sausage. We'll add on some homemade stone ground mustard and dive in.
Yeah guys, this is really good. That sauerkraut has the perfect amount of pungent characteristics to it, which really complements the sausage and mustard. You guys ought to give this a try. When I do it next time, I'm actually going to get some fermentation airlock lids so that I don't have to burp it every day. Every day that I burped the jar, I lost quite a bit of brine. So next time, just for ease, I'm definitely going to have those airlock lids. But definitely try this recipe and let me know what you think in the comments. that is how we make sauerkraut at Fire and Ferment. If you like this type of content and you want to see more of it, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on that little bell icon so you don't miss any new content. I love you guys, and stick around.